final of the men's cox pairs. And once again, Dan, just the 5 entries. Lane 1 furthest away from you. And away they go, and just to run down the line, Egypt with a development partnership there, furthest away from you in lane 1. Quickly away, the United States again, 2 from the top of the picture, then Italy, then Australia, 2 from the bottom of the picture in the white boat, and closest to you, Canada. So, Dan, it is a very different sort of race to days gone by. Do you remember once upon a time such famous names as the Abaniali brothers, the Searle brothers on the Roll of Honour? And again, this category was in the headlines, 2 years ago, when Pinson and Cracknell attempted and achieved that fantastic double of the pairs and the cox pairs within an hour.
Well, it's a terrific event. It's a big man event. It's a very powerful event. You've got to have some of your strongest and most powerful athletes in this event, because they're pulling along the cox, as you can see there, sitting in the bow. That's for the United States. Andrew Kelly sitting in the coxswain seat there. But you've got stroking this boat Dan Beery. He was bow last year when they came second, so he's back for revenge, and it's the United States yet again out in front there in lane 2, and they've got a good half a length now on Australia.
Yeah, Australia within the stroke seat, Jonathan Fibes, making his comeback really. He was in the double scull in 1999, and formerly before that was a world junior champion in the double scull. So interesting to see how this Australia partnership goes.
The United States sitting there very comfortably there at 34 strokes a minute, moving very nicely. Boat running well, sitting low in the boat, driving the legs, and then unfolding there at the finish of the stroke.
So America, and take no notice of that graphic, it's definitely Australia in second place, ahead of Italy, then Canada and Egypt, who are furthest away, just struggling a little bit at the moment. Egyptian rowing though, Dan, just a word on that, because there are real moves there.
Oh, it's come on a lot. I mean, they've got some good coaching going on there. I remember back in the early 70s when we went out to race on the Nile, Zoxford and Cambridge. We used to go and race the boat race there, and then Harvard and Yale joined in. And we'd race on the Nile and race on the Suez Canal. And they were very competitive then. We invited them back to come and race at Henley, and it was the Cairo Police who used to come and race there. But the rowing was good standard, and there was a tradition there, and always has been, of rowing. So it's been quite good to see this resurgence in Egyptian rowing pretty recently now.
So the USA still with Australia. In the Canadian boat, we haven't seen too much of him. Brian Price, the coxswain, will be coxing the 8 in 24 hours from now. The last race of the whole regatta. And America just pulling this out now, just a little bit now. Here, Dan, they've got half, and they're looking for 3/4 of a length advantage.
Yes, it's got some good experience in the coxed boat there from the United States. Dan Beery laying down a very nice rhythm. But as I say, this is very much the kind of preparation ground. These guys will be looking for seats in the Olympic class boats when it comes to selection during next winter. And Mike Tatey, the overall coach, will be having to consider these guys, because they are putting down a very, very good performance here.
Yeah, United States, who were runners-up to Germany a year ago. Great Britain won this, of course, 2 seasons ago, which I mentioned earlier. That was Pinson and Cracknell. Will be in action pretty shortly as we go through the half distance there, and the front 2, Dan, have really pulled away, and Canada now just going after the bronze medal.
What a big amount of water those 2 leading crews have opened up there on the pursuing Canada and Italy. They really have opened up the field. Now moving out to just about a length over Australia as the United States move into this third 500.
Well, this is an encouraging start for the United States. 1 gold medal already achieved, and maybe another one not too far away as we take a look at their steering.
What is interesting is that the United States do very well in the non-Olympic events here, where they're putting crews together who haven't had a lot of preparation. These are the guys who haven't really made the top Olympic boats. They put them together here, but you can see they're well trained, well prepared, and they come from a pretty high quality squad of athletes.
Australia in second place. They coached this season by Antonio Morozio Vanini, who actually coached the Italian 8 in Sydney, just underlining the international transfer system of coaches these days, Dan.
Yeah, coaches very international, people moving around. Big money now in coaching, you know, they're getting 80, 100,000 euros for a coaching job, and that's considerable money.
Had any offers?
No, I'm out of that ball game. But United States still continuing to open up here, and the Australians, they sit up tall. They row they row very much a coxed pair type of race, higher rating and sitting upright, using the legs a lot of power there in the legs. United States pair though rowing really in a traditional coxless pair type of style, long forward, good rowing, good movement there. But Canada now making it very clear that they are going to dominate the Italian boat and move into the bronze medal position there.
Yeah, the Italians though with plenty of firepower to come before these 2 days are over. Of course, these the first ever World Championships at senior level to be hosted in Italy. I found that a bit of an incredible statistic when we were checking it out.
Well, Italy has such a fantastic tradition here in rowing with the Abagnale brothers, and but they just haven't perhaps put themselves forward to host any events. But certainly now this is turning out to be a very, very good regatta.
On the Idroscalo, formerly a flying boat aerodrome, but these days multi-sport, not only rowing, canoeing, powerboats, all sorts of activities. But we're into the final stages of this race now, and no one's going to take this away from the Americans.
No, the United States have had a steady 33, 34 strokes all the way over this course. They've settled into a very, very good rhythm. The Australians have been attacking at 36 most of the time, but it's made no impression at all. The United States, just a very powerful, steady row, and now they're beginning to move it up to 36 there as they wind it in this last 250 metres.
Nice to see, actually. The women put this in. They put a strong finish in, and that's exactly what the gentlemen are doing now.
Yeah, it's a very, very mature piece of rowing there from the United States, and completely dominating this race.
Yeah, they're going further and further away from the Australians, who in turn are an ocean clear of the Canadians, who are well in advance of Italy and Egypt. So this has been a pretty good start. 2 races, 2 gold medals for the United States. So well done to Andrew Kelly in the coxswain seat, Dan Beery in the stroke seat, and Matt Rich in the bow. And well done to Mike Tatey. That's nice to get one on the board early.
It's the United States who finished just over a length clear of Australia, who pick up their first medal of the games. And coming in 3rd place, Canada, very well clear there of hosts Italy, who still aren't in the picture yet.
Here they come. The Italians, Alessandro Speranza in the stroke seat, Pier Giorgio Negrini in the stroke seat, and Massimo Casconi. That's the trio for Italy, and Egypt just completing now. And big time differences, as you can see. And dishing out the medals, it's the executive director of FISA, Matt Smith. Good start for the Americans, 2 gold medals in a row.